3D printing is a tool that will last for the next 50 years.
And so what happens is that as you shine the laser on the powder bed, the laser melts the powders.
It's actually the next frontier. By developing our own food printers, we can actually bring the cost down.
Not in a million years would I have thought that this hobby will eventually translate to my clinical practice.
It's very inspiring that we can impact somebody else's life through our actions.
Every day it's new possibilities to use 3D printing to change the way we are doing things right now. What are you doing, Lucky?
It's very underdeveloped for a husky, right? For 3 years old, he should be fully developed like my other husky, but he was born Down syndrome because of inbreeding by an irresponsible breeder.
Okay. It's okay.
So when the first owner got lucky and then realized that he had an issue, the owner wanted to put him to sleep. When I found about it, I just decided to adopt Lucky. He was only 7 months then. He wasn't able to walk properly, and then he has issue with his back, like the spinal cord is formed a bit different from a normal dog. So having a slightly elevated feeding bowl will make it easier for him to feed. So he gets distracted very easily. He'll eat a while, then he'll walk around a long time, then he'll come back. And then as he walks around, he will also kick the bowl as well. So something sturdy would be nice. So I've tried using, the very makeshift solutions like putting on the table or putting on a brick just to elevate the bowl. All right, Lucky, come. Yum yum. But these solutions were not that good. I mean, the bowl wasn't stable. So when I heard about Tony and his 3D printing company, I thought that, it's a good idea to try to get a feeding bowl to be customized to a good height that is suitable for Lucky to eat from.
Yeah, you see, actually, if it's like this,
Yeah, I think this is good. This is a good height.
Evan, take the measuring tape.
See, I want to measure this.
We get a lot of interesting requests from customers. Every day it's new possibilities to use 3D printing to change the way we are doing things right now. This is what really keeps me going, I feel. That excitement and knowing that we have the machinery to address problems that customers are facing. So something like this would be a very interesting design because you say it can topple. We try to extend the stands a little bit and then make it more sturdy.
Yeah, make the base more sturdy.
Yeah,
right?
and at the end of the day, it's not just a dog bowl, it's a piece of art.
You'll fit quite well here, I guess.
Exactly, and then when your friends come over, hey, what's this? And then they'll be like, hey, it's a customized dog bowl for Lucky.
That's quite nice.
And we can also make Lucky's name come up here.
Oh, that's
wherever you want.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting. I've not seen such a thing before. Oh, the 3D pop-up will look quite good.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Hi guys.
Hey, hi. Hey, good to see you, man, Ivan.
Have a seat here, have a seat here.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, our guys, welcome to Fat Freak. We have seen the industry really shifted and changed so much in monitoring, in referencing. What Fat Freak does is we make those probably the floor wedges that you take reference from directly into your ears. So today we're just going to give you the experience to get a custom piece.
Is a Singapore-based IEM company. IEM stands for in-ear monitors. So it was started by the three of us. The main target market is for musicians. We usually describe in-ear monitors as a tool that musicians can use on stage to hear themselves better. If you go for performances or for concerts, sometimes you can see there are speakers on stage that are pointing towards the musician. So our earphones is actually emulating that, but in their ears. So the stage, there will be no speakers.
It's amazing that you guys do all the digital printing in-house.
Yeah, everything is made here.
Very unique, I mean, I don't think anyone else does that in Singapore for in-ear monitors.
I believe so, I believe so. Having a good fit is very important to make sure that it doesn't drop off in their ears. And secondly, it's also the sound isolation. Yeah, playing to probably 30, 40, 50,000 audiences, screaming towards you, and not having a proper sealed IEM will affect hearing the drummer, hearing the singer, or hearing the music director. They are able to pitch better, they are able to hear themselves and monitor themselves better.
That's what we have printed. So this has been 3D printed out, and then
it's good to the washer and then the printer.
and then the debinder. Okay. So if you notice over here, the lines, that's the ceramic. Back in 1958, that's about 60 plus years, my grandfather started this business. The company actually sells large format printers. So that's the drafting table, and at the back over there, you will see it uses ammonia to print on tracing paper. It's called blue line printing. In 2016, after I left my job as an auditor at the Big Four, I came in here and then we diversified the company and we focused on 3D printing. I was in a room and I had no idea what 3D printing was about. I'm not even an engineer by background, and I was tinkering and playing with it and trying to figure out how this whole thing works. So when I was preparing to move into my house, my BTO 5 years ago, me and my wife realized that a lot of the products that are provided there are off-the-shelf items, right? It's not something that relates to me or it's part of my personality. What I'm trying to do now is to use 3D printing to provide a customized artwork, a vase, for example, or some sort of fixture in the house for that odd space corner or two. So I'm using 3D printing, getting some really interesting designs, organic shapes, and doing it up nicely so that it's a talking piece, as a work of art.
So this is the first one that I actually do.
So actually this is quite nice. It has that turn, which is good. I think maybe we could do a little bit more less curve and a little bit more organic. This is a bit sharp. Whenever we have a design, right, and especially of that kind of scale, we print a miniature model first, just to see the form, the fit, everything is good. Actually, I like this better. This has that radial turn over here. So the bowl will then just come on top, maybe with a slight angle. And then maybe what I suggest is we have a little bit more of a curve.
I think we can just...
The amazing thing about this technology is that it's advanced so much that on a desk, I can click a button and I can produce a part as strong as metal and straight away use it. Now, isn't that crazy? When we were in lockdown, when all of us had to work from home, my team and I actually took back all our machines, and in the confines of our houses, we actually set up these mini factories where we were printing and still continue printing for our customers. So the idea is that we could easily deploy these machines, right, anywhere and start producing parts, and it's just business as usual for us. And I believe that this is the way it's going to change the world.
We will check your ears first, okay? Relax for me. Wow, it's very clean. I can see your eardrums. Right here. We will make sure that the left and right ears are clean, it's clear, that we can see their eardrums. That's when we will start to proceed to take their ear impression. Relax for me. So that will probably take us another 5 to 10 minutes to wait for the impression to harden.
So impression is what we take when we first squeeze the silicone material into your ear. It gets the shape of your ear out so that we can use it to make the IEMs itself.
3D printing of IEMs in Singapore is pretty new. It saves us quite a bit of money in terms of reducing wastage and also reducing a lot of time to just do a lot of back-end and refining work. 3, 2, 1.
Going back maybe even 10, 12 years or even longer, there were places that would take your ear impression, then they have to send it to a factory overseas. 3D printing was not available then, so it was very expensive and it wasn't as properly molded to your ears. The result wasn't anywhere as close as it is now.
Very cool. Yeah, I operated on my ear.
This is just a small little snapshot of what we do on a daily basis. I do this for all my customers. Before I start, I always give them this this sample over here. Please, with all your might, try to break it. No. So when customers are trying to reduce weight but keep the strength, this is the benefit of 3D printing. We've done bicycle pedals. We actually have customers printing drone bodies. You can actually print your jigs, fixtures, toolings, stuff like that that you need to use without having to prototype it and then go into the manufacturing of it. So you can see how intricate and detailed these printouts come out. Possibilities are pretty much endless. So we take that idea from that customer, we translate it into a 3D model, and then we print it.
So after we get the impressions, which is the shape of the person's ear, we convert a physical object into a digital object, which is what we are doing with this machine. Because we digitize all our ear impressions, I can get one of my guys to work from home and he can send the file over to the 3D printer to print, so that we don't even need someone in the office to do the printing.
IEM monitors has been around since the early 2000s, but they are not manufactured by 3D printing. So before that, we had a more traditional process of hand casting, where we actually pour the resin into molds and wait for them to cure. And then there's a lot more work involved in terms of manual polishing, grinding.
Our 3D printer is actually having a precision laser right at the bottom, where the layers will start forming and you will just keep lasering layers and layers to achieve the product that we want.
As of now, 3D printing is still not as fast as the traditional injection molding, where you can manufacture batches of 10,000 in just a few days.
With the power of 3D printing, there's a lot of possibilities. Since we had a 3D scanner, I thought it was pretty cool to just scan one of my stuff. We play around with the designs, try to do something funky with it. So we get the 3D scanners to scan the profile of the person. This is right now being translated into a 3D model on the software. During the printing, it will tell where the head will go and release the materials. I like to explain it to customers. It's like a glue stick. You put it through that heated gun, it melts. And wherever you put that glue stick, it's where you're depositing that glue. It goes layer by layer all the way to the top. Other technologies does it the reverse way. They have a light at the bottom and it shines that light at this liquid resin, kind of hardens wherever the light shines because it's UV curing. The ranges of the pricing depends on materials, the technology you use, how big the items are, how small the items are, how intricate it is. It can range from like a couple of dollars all the way to $1,000. So for this particular piece, it needed to be heavy and it has a little bit of a height. So it took roughly around 24 hours to print.
Which one you chose, Luis? You chose this one, is it?
Chose, yes.
This one and this one.
Yes.
The impressions is one part of the process of getting a pair of customs. So the other side is the aesthetic-wise, where you can choose the design.
So the design is actually broken down into two parts.
Okay.
First is the body. So this is actually the body color that we have.
Okay.
And then, of course, this is the faceplate selection. That will be the aesthetic part of the whole IEM monitor.
I think black is good for when you're on cameras and stuff. Maybe for my second pair, I might as well go with something
Very nice. Resin art.
Yeah, this looks great, man.
I knew Ben and Aaron in our teens, 14, 15 years old. We were in the same worship band.
So when we first started, right, this is just like a hobby.
Fabric actually began in my bedroom when I was in university. Our friends who were in church with us that time had a big bulk of IEMs that needed to be repaired. We had a bit of background in engineering, so we would just spend our weekends trying to make them work.
Many local artists, because of COVID, they have to be bound here in Singapore, so we just call them out for coffee, and that's when word of mouth starts really snowballing. We have orders coming in from Las Vegas, coming from LA, coming from Japan. Even now, we are actually working on a deal with a UK company. We are actually growing pretty quickly.
I thought this will match my suit, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, John.
Hey, hi Ivan, how are you? Good to see you, man.
Good. Yeah, I'm here to pass you guys your IEMs.
Oh wow, wonderful.
Yeah, right here.
I'm excited. Wow, so pretty. Very nice.
Louis, this is your custom in-ear monitor.
Oh.
Right, with the steampunk faceplate and the abalone shell.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is something new to me.
Yeah, being in a room with two jazz legends, jazz musicians of Singapore, it's a great pleasure to be with them.
I've never really been a fan of in-ear monitors in the past, but I've started to get used to it. I was so enamored by it after that because it became as comfortable to use them as it is to use monitors I've been using my whole career.
Love your session just now.
Yeah,
How's your IEMs?
Really nice and balanced from the bass all the way to the top. How about yours?
Mine is very clear, you know, very clear, and it has a sharpness, you know, and everything came out well, you know. When the blues are hanging out around your door, there is a surprise in store. It's a tap in. It's the first time I'm using a customized ear monitor. I was surprised, very much surprised, because in all the concerts that I perform, it's only the monitor I hear. The whole thing is very exciting. It enhanced my vocal. Probably I'll sing better.
The fact that he's already 80, him saying that he's hearing his voice clear is just a big accomplishment for us.
I think that in a day and age where people are listening to inferior sound, MP3, for example, is roughly about 10% the quality of listening to a CD. So, of course, they've mitigated that on all the major streaming platforms by doing really good remastering of the music, as well as deliver it at the highest possible resolution for MP3. And if you use good in-ear monitors, we can go back to listening to music at a high fidelity level, which I think is very important.
On the way to meet Ian and pass him the dog bowl that we have customized for his dog, Lucky. I think the difficult part was actually to get the measurements for which would the angle for the dog would be, and designing something that is aesthetic as well as keeping in line the depth and height of the dog bowl in order for the dog to eat properly.
Hey Tony, hi.
Hey Ian, how are you?
Good, welcome. Come, to sit.
Okay, this is the bowl.
Wow, it's very nice.
Really happy how it turned out. It looks like a porcelain kind of
finish, right? Yeah, it's very nice.
It's actually plastic.
Oh, okay. And it looks like an art piece.
Exactly,
that you can put inside the house. And it looks very different from all the other feeding bowls. It turns out better than what I expected. So I think this will be very useful for him. You can't tell from the face, but I think he's happy.
He's happy inside.
Should we try feeding him?
Yes, let's do it.
All right. So on the menu today for Lucky is chicken fried rice. All right. Up.
Meal set for a king.
Up. Yeah. Good boy. Okay, come, let's try eating. He's not working very well today. Stand properly. Okay, try stand at one. Okay, good boy. I was very pleasantly surprised that it met, in fact, it exceeded all my expectations. Is it nice, Lucky? I think Lucky is happy with the present, and I think the height is perfect for him. He's very comfortable eating. From the speed that he's eating, he's enjoying the new way to eat. Eating much easier. Dog fight. They're jealous.
Jealous.
Yeah.
It's really heartwarming to see animals also benefiting from the power of 3D printing. The best part is when I get to see their face light up when what we show them actually is something that they definitely need. And when I hit that spot, it's one of the best feelings whenever I come to work and meet customers like this.